Just by a raise of hands, how many of you here speak English? I'm guessing every one of you here does speak English, or else you wouldn't be able to understand my question. Languages are obviously a very important part of communication, and they have always been a passion for me to learn, explore, and understand them. I've always loved learning languages ever since I was young. Growing up, I spoke English, Khmer, and a little bit of Chinese due to my mother's Chinese roots. About 4 years ago, I started learning French, and I would say right now I'm near fluent in the language, and about 5 months ago, I started learning German. My passion for learning languages is huge, and by learning a language, I did not learn just the vocabulary or grammar, but I also learned the cultures, traditions, and customs of where the language originated. And with all this new information, it made me more mentally and culturally aware about the things around me. It made me see things from different points of views and perspectives. It made me critically evaluate ideas and issues easily with a fair judgment. It made me realize about cultural differences and global issues that I would never be able to understand if I spoke only Khmer, French, or even English. It made me more open-minded, or should I say, internationally minded. Research has shown that when you go back and forth between the languages you speak, you train it and make it more flexible. And this greatly improves brain power and the ability to make decisions. And it has also been proven that bilinguals can view the world from many different perspectives, depending on the language they are operating in. Another plus for being multilingual is that it delays age-related degenerative disorders like dementia or Alzheimer's. Also, when learning a new language, the customs, traditions, and cultures get taught along with it. So there are many social benefits when learning a language. Such as you express your ideas easier because you have more vocabulary, you have more words, you have different ways of expressing your ideas. And also, if you are bilingual, you would have already known that there are some words in a particular language that can never be translated into another language. For example, the Khmer word "zhou," as in "zhou bei." This word cannot be translated into English or to any other language, I think. And this gives you more freedom of expression and more flexibility, and you have more words to express yourself. So there's a quote from Nelson Mandela which says, "If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But if you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart." And this is what is important, to speak to someone's heart. I have experienced so many of these situations in the past. About 2 years ago, I was in Paris on vacation, and there was this stall next to the Eiffel Tower. There were 2 English-speaking tourists who told the vendor, "May we have some crepes with Nutella, please?" And the vendor made some crepes. He gave it to them and said, "Thank you." I was next in line, and then, feeling like a risk-taker, I decided to go to him and, in my very not French accent, say, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, est-ce que je peux avoir 2 bouteilles d'eau, s'il vous plaît?" Which means, "Excuse me, sir, can I have 2 bottles of water, please?" And with immediate surprise in his eyes, he said, "Oui, bien sûr, mon pote," which means, "Yeah, of course, my bro." And then he went to get the 2 bottles of water. He came back and said, "Voilà, merci beaucoup, mon pote, bonne journée," which means, "Here you go, thank you very much, my bro, have a good day." And this made me realize that it gets more personal when you speak to someone in their native language. It does not matter if you speak the language with so many grammatical errors, or even just speaking like 3 words in that language will open up someone's heart and make their day. There's a quote from an Austrian British philosopher which said, "The limits of my language are the limits of my world." And that is very true, because languages open up more doors of information, opportunities, and international mindedness. There are people who tend to have fear when learning a new language, and that is so normal because we're humans. But learning languages can actually be very easy, but only if you want to learn them, only if you love them. French can only be easy if you want to learn French and love French. German can only be easy if you love the language and want to learn it. And so is Mandarin or Spanish or Arabic or any other language. There are a couple of ways you could learn a language, either by taking language classes, online courses, but if you're lucky enough, try to speak to the people who speak that language, because from very little vocabulary, you will be fluent in no time. And we, teenagers or adults, as future young leaders, should learn at least 1 new language that we love, so that there could be a future world community where everyone of internationally minded people, where everyone understands each other and appreciates each other's cultures, heritage, and language. Because how could we be a world community if no one understands each other? Am I right? Okay, now, there are global leaders from the past and present who speak at least 2 languages. Now, just by a raise of hands, how many of you here speak more than 1 language? How many of you here speak more than 2 languages? How many of you here speak more than 3 languages? Wow, we have such an internationally minded audience here. You may give yourselves a big round of applause. And did you know that languages are evolving every day? Modern English, this modern English, is not the same like the English from Shakespeare's time. And so is future English, which will never be the same like current modern English. Because languages are evolving every day. And when you learn a language, you don't just learn the present language. You also learn the past language from old texts like Shakespeare's. And you also learn the future language, because languages are developing every day and evolving. So, learning more languages does not only give you more points of views and perspectives of different cultures and of the world, but it also makes you appreciate your own language, culture, and heritage. And so, it will open up new worlds of global connection and understandings of each other, where everyone appreciates each other and live with harmony. I hope that we all would increase our international mindedness of a goal towards a more understanding future global community, because yes, we need peace. And with that being said, merci, xie xie, akun, danke, thank you.